Hello, my lovely, gorgeous Capricorn moons. Welcome today to Firefly Moon Tarot. I thank you all for being here, both our spirits, guides, and guardians, and yourself included. If you are a cross watcher, you are also most welcome in this space. Just to start off, I usually go into the specific moon in which this reading is relating to. So at this time, it is a new moon reading for the Capricorn Moon Collective. This is known as the Forgotten One's moon, which actually Capricorn happens to be your new moon. So you already are aware that you rule the 10th house, which is the house of social status. And then the moon itself rules the house of family, foundation, and fertility. This is definitely going to be a time where your social status and even your status within the family may play a role as we proceed into the holidays. I mean, this is, I think, a lot of collective energy as well. Now, what this moon, it is kind of like, even though it's a new moon, which is a regenerative kind of energy, this is time for you to set your intentions and recollect and recollect yourself after a possible, the ending of a cycle of the last like goal you had, or the last I don't want to say like goals and stuff, because again, they're limiting. Objectives, life's objectives, like what you desire out of things and what you want to get done. And maybe you just want to get to bed 20 minutes earlier, or you want to wake up 20 minutes earlier, or you want to read one more book a year, or something like that, or a couple pages a day, whatever, this may be huge life goal things, like you want to be leading a team, or you want to own your own business, or you want to get married by a certain time, or you want to have a kid. But these tend to be smaller, like personal achievements as we go through the moon cycles, because they are, run around 28 to 29 days. So this one is a bit about the time to recollect on, like, memories are going to come into play here. You're going to get a lot of nostalgic memories, and all the times, like, you may be triggered during current events about times you were excluded from things, as a younger child. Times that you were even prohibited from participating in something that you wanted to participate in by outside forces or leadership power forces, whether that be your parent or school or government or whatever. This is also a time, like, because Capricorns are naturally actually quite curious and enthusiastic and decisive about what they want. This is a time where actually it kind of robs an individual of that natural curiosity, that natural wonder, and that natural enthusiasm, and that natural decisiveness. And even and as temper is concerned, there's the other side of that. The dark side of that is, your anger, aggression, your hot-headedness. Like, even like you become indifferent about situations that you shouldn't be indifferent about. So that could be possible during this time. And this reading is going to try and help you overcome those kind of, I guess, mind boxes that you can get stuck in. Or it's going to offer you the best opportunity to direct your energy towards, possible outcomes that lead to a more self-realizing, self-fulfilling result. So there can also be, some of this, some of you who have already worked or maybe have worked on your early childhood development therapy and have done like neuro-linguistic patterning, this may be actually a great opportunity to realize like how much you've achieved in that process, because you're not being affected by these things, that you're overcoming, that you did overcome these, wounds, or you are overcoming these wounds. If you haven't achieved it, if you're in the process of achieving it, I think it will give a certain level of satisfaction towards not being drawn into the energy of this new moon in a forgotten one's way. And you're able to utilize the full power of a new moon to manifest a new endeavor. For those of you who are really, struggling to work on those wounds, this may be a really hard reflective time. You really may isolate yourself from people, which is not a bad thing. Everyone can go through it. I mean, in almost every reading I've done, and every tarot reader out there, the Tower is very prevalent right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got Hermit energy during this reading. So there's just collectively, there's a lot of Tower moments going on in the world. And sometimes this can definitely lead to Hermit situations. So that's not a bad thing. It's taking the time that you need. Don't you force yourself to participate in things that you don't want to participate in. Now, this Forgotten One is about other people having excluded them from things, or they feeling left out. This is an opportunity to redirect the power of that dynamic and say, I don't want to participate in something because it's not what I want to do. So that is a little bit about the Forgotten One's moon. Now, I will link in this description, how to utilize the energy of my readings, because there's a whole list of there's just a short video in general of why I'm doing these moon readings and what the moon reading energy is. Now, the Capricorn itself, before I get into the channeled messages, like I said before, so it is the 10th house. So that's professionalism and goals, which is the status, social status, which is why I mentioned earlier, this may be where some of the Tower moments come in, where some of the Hermit moments come in during this Forgotten One moon. But it is ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of karma, discipline, responsibility, concepts of management and administration. So these may be ways that you normally push through, that you are comfortable in this kind of routine set. Now, also, it's the wheel of karma, so that means it cycles around. And like I said, this one is a deep kind of repressive energy, a lot of nostalgia of being left out as a kid, a lot of childhood wounds, possible triggering. So this is literally meaning that whatever it is that's triggering you, this is a lesson you need to learn. So you need to focus on why it's triggering you, whether it's something you can actively participate and change. Well, we all can actively participate and change our thought patterns. Like, psychologists said, nobody makes you angry. You allow yourself to become angry at somebody else's actions. Now, obviously, I think there's a certain line and a limit to that when it comes to physical violence. If someone killed someone, you're angry at them is going to be a natural response because it's a grief response. So, there's limit between just the simplicity of that statement. I'm sure they were referring to a lot of complex social issues, not actual, real life and death situations. So it's about finding that structure within your life and a way to get through these things. So, this is opportunity to work through your karma. Don't avoid, again, the Tower will come up, whether it's in reversed or upright, we'll see, but don't avoid facing that situation. Don't, do your best to try and actually confront it. All right. Okay. So that was just a little bit again about it. Shyness is fine this time of year. In fact, I think it was the key word that I kind of came up with for this type of moon. Just don't completely turtle up, go into your shell. So I'll move on to the channel messages, which really it was very interesting. It was kind of a lot of scatteredness, and I kind of get why, once I kind of reflected upon it. There was a lot of group kind of activities and group settings in all my dreams with this last night. It was just almost kind of Korra, the Avatar Korra, the Legend of Korra, and when she's in the spirit world, how if she's in a realm, and if she wants to go someplace and focus on something else, it's like she stays standing there and the landscape just keeps moving, you know, like somebody's just like moving the landscape. And so all the different kind of social settings and activities that I was privy to as part of, one was a refugee center or a migration camp. I came in, like, basically I was not escaping. I was trying to find quiet when I was in the one before that was a media outlet, like a media center, like either where a bunch of YouTubers get together and they all produce content, or where, you know, like a sports show or something like that has a bunch of people working on different sports things, like a media center, like editing and sound and voice content, and then people like newscasters trying to report news. It was just there's so much going on in media center of some kind, like whichever center. And I was trying to find a quiet place to do the tarot reading and to deal out my cards, and I ended up going through a door, and I ended up in this, you know, refugee center or this migrant center, where a woman thought I was an architect, and I was there to help them build more effective and efficient bunk bedding. Do you know how to make a bunk bed? So and there was that, and then there was a roommate situation. You know, I kind of like got pushed into a roommate situation where someone wasn't pulling their weight, or they were trying to get people to move in and move out, and it was like a constantly rotating kind of situation, almost like a fraternity or sorority house, which I've never been a part of, so I don't know actually, but I just assumed the amount of people that were involved in this situation just seemed like it was, you know, a hostel or sorority of that kind. And then there was the family, the family situation, and it was like back at their childhood house kind of thing as well, family situation. And then in the end, it all led up to this pool that was in the backyard that was supposed to be pool normally. And like, oh yeah, you had to help your family out with paperwork, some legal paperwork. He wanted you to, or your father or the male figure in this context needed help looking up transcripts or translations for something from across the seas. Very interesting. And I guess you were a lawyer of some kind, like someone in your family was asking you legal advice or accounting advice, if you're an accountant as well. I think some of it had to do with that. Let me think if there's any other business sectors. I think it was definitely either it was a legal opportunity, it was an accounting opportunity as far as taxes are concerned, and it could have been like if you work in government, like helping people, like at a Ausländer at a migration center or a immigration center, like helping people get their papers, you know, like even if you're diplomat or you're here on a student visa, or if you're here on a work visa or something like that, to help you get the right papers. So it could be those three scenarios as well. And then at the end, which is another guide is clarity. Now this pool, I mean, originally, obviously it took the image of the pool that it was in our backyard going up, but it was filthy. It was wintertime, which very interesting. It was wintertime. It was filled with leaves. Like, it was so thick, and I, you know, had to get my sister to tell me where the net was to start cleaning it. And then I remember it turned from a pool into this entire almost lake, this beautiful backyard lake, and it had natural moss that was growing on it. And so all I had to do was like clean off some of the leaves and limit the moss like down to its edges, so it wasn't that like reproducing kind of slime sludge that you get sometimes in lakes. And when I did that, it was so clear. The water became so clear. You could see the ground, you could see the rocks in the ground, and it was like coming up on a horizon to the edge of a cliff, and you just see this sky, this beautiful open horizon of sky and nothing is around you. So it just, I mean, seeking clarity, knowing what to cut away from certain things to get that, you know, you don't have to cut away everything, but you just have to know what to cut away or clean up and things like that. And it was just this beautiful, it's like you earned the pond too. It's like all of a sudden you had like this land that was yours and this pond belonged to you and is gorgeous and fresh and clean and beautiful. So there's definitely a cleansing process going on. And some cards that came up when I was asking about, or, you know, when I knew that I was going to be doing this reading, I always look to cards just randomly that fall out of my decks in places. There was a 9 of Cups and an 8 of Swords in reverse. So I really think, I mean, whichever time lineage that this passes, either in order to get your 9 of Cups situation, you need to release these limiting thoughts that you have, or either you've released your limiting thoughts and now you're achieving your 9 of emotions kind of situation, your 9 of Cups situation. So it could be that in order to get this, you have to do this, or you've already done this and now you're getting this. Because this is a general reading, please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And there is, obviously, time is not linear, it is fluid. And so these things could have happened, will happen, or are happening. All right, thank you very much. Those are the channeled messages. And now I will get on with your reading. I have already cleansed the space, and I have meditated on your cards as well as shuffled the cards. There was a lot of fire energy today around me. Oh my goodness. And there was a lot of chaotic energy like this. Did something also turn? Okay. These came out first. I'll do this last. So there is, yeah, a lot of chaotic energy, a lot of possible deceptive energy, you know, people trying to get the better of you, someone trying to swindle you. Definitely look out for scams this season. I mean, it is the holiday season, so this is just a general message to everyone. There are scammers about, not just in your emails, over your phone, over your YouTube, over your Twitter. I mean, be very wary of any potential scams. There's all kinds of cretins out there right now. Okay, I'm going to set this up because it seems like it really is not going to give me anything until I see that. Okay. Let's make sure you can see this. Yeah. I always have to get everything filled out here. Okay, so far, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords upright. We have a 4 of Coins upright situation. So that, okay, that's, I gotta say I just love physics, and I don't know how this exactly worked, but this card that came out here ended up actually finding and sliding underneath the stone that was placed on the table. Like that's crazy. Okay. Oh, one of my favorite cards. So beautiful, the King of Swords is. So a King and Queen of Swords, I can already tell you, is on the board, which definitely can represent and I'm guessing that's the Tower. I have a feeling that is the Tower card. I think I saw the Tower. If it's not, okay, but I'm gonna have to go get that. If you'll excuse me 1 minute. I will continue talking about this Queen and King of Swords. So if you are in a relationship, this definitely may be something that you have to deal with as a family. I feel family energy here. Oh, no, it's not the Tower. It is the Devil. Capricorn, that's you. It's the Devil. I'm taking it in reverse. Although I don't, yeah, that. So this may be something definitely that you have to deal with as a family. You may be grandparents that are having to deal with somebody you feel is encroaching on your children. you may be a married couple. I mean, I got married right away. Like, I don't feel like this is a dating situation. I feel like this is a married type of situation. You are having to deal with either problems within your own situation where you've just stopped talking to each other for some reason that I'm feeling, and you're just not communicating as well as you used to, and you need to work through that. It is, yeah, maybe there's a limited amount of you people who could come across someone during these holidays who seems like the right person for you. May not be. They may be. The star is here. But let's continue on. I'll keep it going. So the devil was in reverse. The star is upright here. The last card that was in the first pile was the Three of Wands. There's that Hermit energy that I was talking about earlier. And you have the Nine of Cups, which I did mention also earlier as part of the channeled messages. That came out next to the King and Queen of Swords. So somebody, this Nine of Cups, I always get kind of too much of a harm energy out of it, which I feel is very unrequited love. It's just very kind of Greek party god energy for me. So it's they're the devil. We'll see how healthy this, this Nine of Cups energy is, but obviously, as I said earlier in the channeled messages, there is Nine of Cups energy around you, so there is an opportunity for full fulfillment and happiness. Emotionally. All right. Last card is the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is that Six of Cups is that nostalgic energy that I was also talking about, that the actual new moon itself generates. It's childhood. So it's very interesting. We've also got the Three of Swords over here. Right underneath the deck, we have Strength. Yeah, I'm going to keep just the Strength card out. So I think this is the overall energy. I think this is not the energy that's around you, but the energy you want around you. Like, I feel that during this time, my Capricorn moons, that you want to find the strength to do things. Like, that's almost like your hope and goals. Like where is it? It's around you. I want to find it. I remember how it felt to be able to, that determination, that discipline and stuff like that, the strength to do what's needed and necessary in, a kind of administrative, social status way. But I feel like it may not be around you at this time, and you're feeling a bit detached from it. And obviously, like I was saying earlier, there's instead, we have that Hermit energy, that fear of having to go in. So I'm actually going to start here. I feel it's very interesting. Your reading so far has been unlike any other that I've done in the context. I got a clear message also about how I'm supposed to deal these cards out later today. Never done before. These cards, Spirit sent the guidebook out with it when I removed them. It was almost like I forgot to take the guidebook out, and then I realized, oh, it's there. So I'm being told that whatever card you get, I have to read the entire message, because there's going to be some kind of message for one of you in there, specifically. So it's very, very interesting. And the dreams, the channeled messages didn't come through in the same way at all. It was very interesting. And I did get the they told me to look up the Seven of Swords energy at the very beginning as well, so I could and my smudger, it caught on fire. So there's a lot going on. I feel like, Capricorn, there's I think that rage or that anger that you're indifferent about, what it's doing is it's building. It's building right now. Something is building emotionally, and you have you haven't found a healthy way to relieve it yet. That's what I'm getting with this. It's unhealthily building up. Okay, so I'm starting here. I have the Hermit, the Three of Swords, the Magician, and the Six of Cups in reverse. So I love these cards. I was also very drawn to use these cards. I wanted to do this reading last night, but I was fortunately exhausted, and I didn't want, because the last time I did one when I was too tired, the reading I just didn't feel was up to par, and I wanted to, you know, give you a good reading. Okay, so our Hermit energy, number 9, coincidentally, of course, comes after Strength. So in this case, I'm getting 2 kind of energies off of this because it was so clear, the 8 and now the 9. So either some of you have exhausted all your strength and energy, and now you're just, okay, I did a certain amount of the physical labor, the emotional labor, the kind of connections and networking sector of the strength of what I need to do. I am exhausted. I can't do it anymore. I think somebody at some point in time, like, it didn't reap the results that you wanted. Somebody said something to diminish you in some way because of their own insecurities. You thought you were so proud of what you were doing, and somebody criticized you. They didn't accept the project. And so you're in this moment where you feel like you have to go in and reassess. And what I can say about this Three of Swords, I find a very interesting, like you can see her cutting her wings off. Now, the sad part about this story is, so this is the man, her husband, and she is, I believe, a concubine, one of the concubines married to him, or she might be the main wife, I forget. But she told this man not to go in there and watch her because she had a not tradition, a routine to do, which, you know, Capricorns like routines. And she goes in there and she has to she goes into this room and she basically self-mutilates because the society in which they live in, the people around her husband, because he's in a powerful position, are trying to use her to hurt him. And so she has to cut off what makes her unique and cut away and make herself not unique so he can be successful because she loves him. And she tells him not to go in and look what she's doing, but he does. And that betrays her. So she feels betrayed. She's like, I'm trying to protect you, and this is you know, this is what you do. So it kind of like, and that's where also this goes with this King and Queen of Swords. I think this energy is related because they are in the same positions on each one. They are in the East, which is the rising energy. And so I feel that this can be connected. There was definitely a betrayal of some kind where, like, one of you might have accused the other one of cheating. And they're like, no, of course I wasn't cheating. Like, they were out doing something for you. They were literally doing something for your relationship. Like, maybe they're going to a therapist on the side. Maybe they're seeking help for a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. Or maybe they're talking to a doctor about fertility because you're having a problem getting pregnant. You know, maybe your kid, you keep yelling at your kid, and your kid's like out there taking kind of computer classes so they can get out there on their own, or, you know, just something, trying to do something. And like what I see here with this magician, what I'm feeling about this is what's deep down inside of you is you have a wish that you want to manifest. And this is a great time, honestly, in this new moon. Now, these to me, these positions in the South are this underlying rooted energy. So you have a wish, and your wish is you don't want to feel isolated like this anymore. You don't want to feel constrained like this or limited like this. And this, like, I know I got the limited beliefs, but this is usually about money. Like, this is also can be that you don't want to be seen as someone who is either putting on the appearance of being, or like this can be somebody who is very arrogant about their money, like tries to make, like looks, there's, again, this is Capricorn, you are the house of social status. So this could definitely be, you're putting on like an appearance of somebody who has it all, but you don't. Like you may think, oh, I got all the money, I've got all these material things, but it's so stressful. It is so like confined, like you pinch those pennies, you hide, you're untrusting, you are that person that goes out, or you could be that person that goes out in a group, and you know, it's a group dinner. There's 5 of you, 6 of you, and you all, one person pays, and everybody's supposed to like Zelle them money or whatever, you know, give them money in cash or whatever, and you're the one that doesn't. You're like always the one that bails, so you just stop getting, you know, it's like nobody wants you around, but you want this. This is your vision, you know, this 9 of Cups. You want this like very, what you would consider like when, because that's the thing about this person as well, this type of person, that they see those people on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or, you know, TV or magazines, and like, oh my God, that's the life I want. That's what I want for myself. You know, I want to have the parties and the house with nice luxurious things in it, with all these unique interior design qualities, and you just, you know, want to have sex, I don't know, sex party. You want to have celebrations and not have to worry about any of this kind of nonsense. You want to be able to give as well, like offer an opportunity. I do have to say this seems a bit shallow for a use of the Hermit, and that may be what is sending you into this hermit mode, is that is what you've been wanting, or what you thought you wanted. Because I mean, we also have not just the Magician, we have the Star. And although I know that this one is looking like she's wishing on a star, but in this case I'm getting really more of a healing, like what's in, because it goes, let's see, if I take, you know, kind of your crown chakra energy, your ideas, your thoughts, your consciousness. We have the Hermit, the Star, and then the 7 of Wands in reverse. So, I mean, just off the bat, I'm getting that, you know, what is happening in your head, like this material stuff that you think you want isn't what really is going to make you happy in your head. Like, you have to reassess. You have to do some healing, and like, again, this is the Forgotten One's moon. So this is all about, and the nostalgia card is here. Where was my thing? Oh yeah, the nostalgia card. Like, you know, it could lead you down. It could definitely the reason that some of you have these, what I would say, kind of material ideas of what happiness is or what you want, and this could have been the goal that you thought that you needed to achieve, you know, for your social status. Again, this is a social status reading, so I mean, when I use the term, it seems very, materialistic, as something that roots you down. Obviously, in this phase, that just may be what the energy is coming out as, because it is, you know, the moon of social status. So all of a sudden, you are feeling like this could have literally been what you wanted as a kid, you know, like to have all these nice things and to show off and stuff like that. And now it's time to leave that behind, because you're growing up, and it, you know, all these triggers from childhood about what society says you have to own or you have to look like, you know, that whole like white picket fence, suburban house with a garage, a car, 2 kids, and you know, it's just like, you know, not all of you may need or want that. 1, you don't have to have kids. 2, buying things, bigger things, just means you have to fill it with more things. And honestly, majority of that stuff just ends up in a landfill somewhere that creates waste, and you've just spent, you basically fallen victim to an advertisement or a advertising storyboard that says you just have to keep spending and keep having to buy, and you're realizing maybe those things aren't what makes you happy. There's got to be more value to life. Like all what you've been fighting for to prove yourself as being above and on top of everyone else. There's things to fight for, but really, fighting over a purse on Black Friday, is that really what you're for? I mean, and there may be that may be, also kind of the argument that's going on here between your divine partners. And like, one of them is definitely probably worried about money, and the other one is worried about image. And maybe you two aren't on the same communication stream as you used to be about what you want and what represents a fulfilling actual life. So in the West are, waning energies. The energies kind of going out. They're all in reverse, which is very interesting. So I just am... The devil could also definitely be relationship focused, or this. I mean, oh goodness. Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay. So Capricorn energy, I believe Virgo energy. I want to say fire, but star, I believe, is Aquarius energy. So these also those signs could mean something to you. Obviously Capricorn, because you are a Capricorn moon. But I mean, other earth sign, and then an air sign, and then these king and queen of the swords are air signs, so it could be any Libra or Gemini as well. Okay, so definitely when I saw this like the root, I think, what's waning is leaving that nostalgic kind of, or, this belief that in some way, in this sense, your view on what you thought a successful relationship was supposed to look like, or what the successful future was supposed to look like. Like, you don't have to have the perfect house with a, garage car. I mean, just the costs that go into some things. I understand that some people think maybe need a car to drive farther or go someplace, but I mean, if you're in a community, think about how raising your kids to be dependent on certain things, and especially dependent on you if you do have kids, teaching them more independence and how to take care of themselves. I feel like what I've noticed is a lot of children these days don't know how to take care of themselves. They are very adept at online communication and technology and stuff like that. There's just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of emotional ability or physical ability to understand the intricacies of the world around them. I don't particularly see kids here, but like I said, this could be grandparents worrying about their kids, or grandparents. I mean, you may have worked your entire life. You're in retirement. This is definitely a retirement story too. Could be. This is how you've worked, and you felt your whole life that you were working towards this, and all you ever got was this 4 of coins energy, and now it's just it didn't reap the benefits or rewards that you thought it was going to be. So it's time to try something different or have a different view of what your retirement is going to look like. Or literally, because this is Capricorn, which is all about kind of, you know, structure, discipline, and responsibility, and it is the King and Queen of Swords, to a partner that is cuts away all the unnecessary, gets really focused and strict on what needs to be done, like does not pull punches on things, does not hold back. And I mean, the king is a little bit more compassionate because he understands the variables, the different, like the social and the kind of the economical, not just one of the two. Where the Queen of Swords can be a little more bitter about how things come out. But either way, this is a good partner. I mean, their ideas, their thoughts are very good, and their communication should be good. So I see, like, there could be, like, what's it behind? Obviously, now I see this, like, because they're in the reverse, they're actually upright because they're in that leaving behind energy for me. So I just honestly feel like you're leaving behind this nostalgic idea of what things were supposed to be and starting to move on. Like, you're trying to cut all the toxicity of a situation out and making the strong decision. And like, because the devil doesn't have to be that it's a bad card. Like I said earlier, there are things that struggle you're going to have to face. This is about literally facing them down and overcoming them. And it is about choice. Like, you know, or the devil's in the details as well. I'm getting that. But it's about choice in the aspect of you, free will. The devil, like, for me, in a lot of contexts, it represents that kind of, that carnal free will. And I don't mean carnal in a sexual context. I mean that ability to not be confined what other people say about you, whether it's how you dress, how you talk, who you're with, what religion you believe in. Even I will give you that. It is not, it's like just feeling free, feeling the freedom, you know, to make a free will choice. So I see that in a sense that there's a goal towards seeking more freedom in your life as well, which I don't know exactly what kind of performativity that implies for Capricorn, because you are so disciplined. So it's not like you want the freedom from, you know, paperwork or freedom from hard work, you know, and so it's definitely, there's something there that, like, you just feel constricted about, which is why, you know, you're in this, like, contemplative state. Like, you need to find the knowing. You need to find that knowledge. And the Three of Wands, since it was, you know, like I said, these are energies you're leaving behind. Okay. Now, moving on about something. There's definitely, I mean, obviously there's just a clear, you need to, like, and it's coming out, like, you just need to move on. So if a relationship broke up, if it ended already, or if you lost something in a relationship, you need to move on from it. You need to just let it go. If you're holding a grudge in a relationship about something you thought they were doing something they didn't, okay, if one of you accused you of cheating and you didn't, and you're holding that grudge, like, I can't believe they wouldn't trust me like that, you need to let it go. Because I think the other person's feeling just as much guilt about having done that. And I don't mean you need to let it go without talking. I mean, you need to talk about it. I mean, you are all about that communication, you two, in this situation. This seems really focused towards someone. This is like a direct message. Like, I'm sorry for all you other Capricorns out there that this does not apply to. This is a really direct message. Now, Now, it could be business partners as well, I feel. Especially one of you thought that one of was cheating the company out of money or the firm out of money. You actually weren't. It might have been somebody else. Yeah, somebody, again, that was, like I said, this was their goal. And this is how they felt they were living. So, this could be that channeled message, the accountant thing I saw earlier. But again, something that you battled for, you're healing from. You're gonna know which battles you need to fight. Don't feel like you can't. Like this means you could feel like you can't do it, you can't achieve it, but that's just no. On that idea, yeah, just forget about it. You can do this. Move on from that. Move on for that energy. It is also, it's not a giving up either. I think what you're giving up on is climbing the ladder. Like in the context, again, it could be how you feel you were presented this option, or how you were presented this lifestyle, or how you were presented this relationship. You know, you feel like you had to climb a ladder, constantly climbing a ladder, and you were never getting, you were just constantly climbing and you never got there. It was a labyrinth. You know, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, but you were always climbing and you weren't getting there. And so you're done. You're done climbing that ladder that was presented to you. Build your own ladder. Like if there's another channel message about that architect having to build, you know, bunks or something, whatever. Build your own way. And again, this is you finding kind of that embodying, because this is a Capricorn card and a Capricorn moon. So this may be really just you embodying your own energy. You're you know, with possibly your id, you know. I mean, that can be dangerous, which the devil can be dangerous, but all it does is shows you your desires, what you want, what you really want, your freedom. So leaving behind those past attachment is a key word, to things. Like you felt like this was you for the longest time. Like you were just doing all that. That was all around you. You were just so strong and so accomplished and you were doing so well. And all of a sudden something just tore you down. I'm surprised the towers, we'll see which sun sign the tower will come up for. But I'm feeling tower energy here. Even if it's not up here, I'm feeling tower energy. We might even actually get it in the oracle cards. Okay, let me see if there's anything else here before I move on. I am just in chills. Completely in chills. This is an amazing message, and I've never had it come out clearly where like all the corners fit perfectly, because sometimes each one is a story. And it's either, you know, a problem, how to fix it, and what it is, and then advice. You know, there's just different methods in which Spirit wants to talk to me. And oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. You're a Capricorn. I was given clear guidelines how to do this reading before it even started. And again, the moon is, like, you may not be a Capricorn at work when you're facing things, but you are a Capricorn in, again, your friend, around your friends, your foundation, and your fertility. This is how you approach your personal life and those people who matter most to you and how they see you and how you project that. So this is crazy. You have a really strong team around you, Capricorns. I mean, the fact that they came in and did all this with me before we even started is quite incredible. Okay, so that was a message, obviously. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, okay, so again, this magician and how I was talking about it being like kind of a wish you made, like what you thought you wanted when you were younger. I mean, you still may be young, but I'm getting a lot like already established energy out of this. I really am. The one is only reinforcing that. I know the magician's always one, but in this case, I'm really feeling like this was an early childhood manifestation. This is not something that you continue to want for yourself or you're like kind of reaching that goal. You could be, yeah, a teenager, maybe. I would say still a little bit older, because I feel that this King and Queen of Swords, I mean, obviously, you may be worrying about a child in their wrong direction. Maybe they are paying too much attention to these things like social media, I said earlier, and they're not establishing enough of their own personal identity or how to adapt in the real world. Like I said, is also, I saw grandparents. I definitely saw retirement age people in here, or I feel. It's weird to say I saw, because it comes through up here. It's like I'm seeing things because, but retirement age people here, and you're dealing with the next stage of your evolution, where you've quit your jobs and now you're just one-on-one with each other, or one of you is getting sick and you are not sure how to deal with that. Someone might have died. One of you might have died, and now you have to reassess your identity and your life. Like, who are you without family? Well, you still have family. You will always, have family. So it's, man, there is a lot of beautiful messages here. Yeah, you're going to have to write your own path, your own story. If you were alone and you are mourning someone, this is not the time to give up. This is definitely, you can take the time to yourself, heal a little bit. I don't see a lot of group gatherings in this, even though I know it came through in the channeled messages. We'll see when we go into the clarifiers and the advice card, but it's definitely, I mean, this is definitely a community card. Don't get me wrong. This absolutely is a community card, but this was in the past, kind of like the goals you wanted for yourself. So if you are dealing with the loss of someone, it just takes time to heal. Don't worry. I mean, one day you will you will be able to move on. That's, in that case, this is just, you will be able to move on one day. You will never forget, but, but you'll just be able to, I don't know, go to, going to the grocery store and buying food for yourself, and not, being like, oh, I always used to have to get the blue cheese for whoever, or I used to buy these chocolates, for them, and you will be able to go there. And since it is a major arcana, I mean, I really see it as, a healthy, and it's not in reverse or anything like that. I really see some nice, healthy healing, and it's going to be purifying. Clarity. All right, I'm going to go into the advice card. I think I'm not sure. I'm going to ask Spirit as we go through, okay? Like I said, there's a lot of chaotic energy around your cards right now. I mean, even my smudger caught on fire. Spirit, please provide us with any advice. Yep, I think that is the one. Okay. And now I'm going to read this from the book. Okay, first off, Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yes. Okay. So even this manifestation of this is the life you want, that might have been a past life. And like I said, this is all about, like, Capricorn rules Saturn. So this is a karmic lesson that you have to go through. This is actually really, yeah, definitely Spirit wanted this one. So rewriting it, letting things go, like I said, building your own ladder. Working with this energy. There's your limitations, seeking that freedom and that clarity. Okay. All right, this is an activation card. It is... All right. I hope you can see this. I hope it stays focused. All right. It is time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of lives past. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, however, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It is time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer suitable. Oops, sorry. I tried to hold it steady. Okay. Now, your light work activation. You can just, if you want to, think of this and just think about, I release all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in this present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, forever unbound. So I have to say, this reading is pretty intense reading so far. Okay, I'm going to keep all these here. I am clarifying now with your sun sign cards. Since Spirit was very particular about how I'm doing it, I do not have to shuffle these cards. They literally want me to lay them out. And if any get stuck together as I pull them out, because they said that, because I asked them, well, what if you want two cards? They said they'll stick together. So we'll see. Okay, so either you can fast forward to your sun sign, where I'll see you on the other end, or you can watch me lay these cards out. Either way, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much. Oops, I have to do it softly. Very interesting. Okay. All right. Welcome back, Capricorn Moon, Aries Sun. This is your reading, or this is the clarification for your reading. Very interesting. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse. This is Jane Austen's card. It's obviously a writer. She wrote some of great British literature about a more strong, independent female woman. Now, what I'm getting clear off the bat on this one is, because the energy of this King and Queen is air energy, or I'm getting a direct correlation that the reason this Page of Swords is in reverse is that this connection, like I said earlier, that there was stagnant communication between you two. But it's not just because it's not because you stopped talking, it's because you don't know how to talk to each other anymore about certain things. Like, I think you have to reestablish I don't want to say a commonality. That's not the, Okay. So in order to write stories, you have to have a general premise baseline of an act 1, an act 2, and act 3. You have to understand the dialogue of their characters. You can go as far as having to pick what their birthday is, so you know their sign, you know how much education they have, with, you know, just different things. You have to understand the character development. And I believe you two have, like, for the couple that is together, that you don't understand your own character anymore, your own character. Therefore, you don't know how to communicate because something about you has changed. The thing that you both, because this is also the thing that you're both very interested in, that kind of like spark, that intellectual spark that really connected you two, is different. It's evolved. It's either you've taken opposite sides of the thesis argument, or a individual experience has made it where you're unable, that the other person isn't able to understand as deeply as you, because you had some kind of like some actual experience with, I don't want to say the subject matter, because your life is more than just a subject matter or the topic of your interest, but you just, it hits you more personally in some way. Now, for those of you who did lose somebody, possibly have lost somebody, you miss talking to them. You miss talking to them so very much. You might even write them letters as though they were there, because you can't talk to them. Obviously you can talk to them. You can talk to anyone at any time, is what I mean. But you just miss them there. And writing letters. And if you don't write letters, you might want to try writing a letter. I would write letters to my grandparents. I mean, they're dead, but I would go and I would read them at their grave, and then I would burn them there. And they're with me anyways all the time. So it's just the performativity of the situation, like connecting with where their actual, bones are. You miss them a lot. If it is some parents that are kind of disenfranchised from, or from their child, you miss them a lot as well. You used to talk all the time on the phone, and something happened, and they may be dating a toxic person. I forgot to mention that earlier. That was like one of the first things. I can't believe I didn't mention that. Oh goodness. When I was talking about the parents may have a kid, obviously, or grandparents may have children, and they think somebody's toxic has come into their life. So, you may have a kid, you think that they're dating somebody toxic. Depending on how old they are, most of the advice is just let it play out. However, if there's abuse going on, definitely try and find a way to intervene. If this is business partner, one of you is keeping a secret. If this is a business partner situation, one of you is keeping a secret about something that has to do with the bottom line of the business, like how the business, like definitely papers filed, like whether you're trying to, file in, let's say, Estonia or something like that, because the taxes are better or something, and they got a note from the government needing something or wanting something, and you don't have that or something. This other person is hiding it from you because they don't want you to know about it, or they want to deal with it themselves. Not quite sure. But I would be wary of that. Definitely, if it's a business partner, I'd be wary about that. Because, and you don't want to come out and accuse them real quick, because like I was saying before, they may just be trying to handle this on their own, so they don't have to stress you out, so they don't disappoint you. So just, be wary of it, but don't go all ballistic about it, I think that's what all I'm seeing for Aries. And in the sense of unbound, in this sense, I'm getting a lot of conventionality. Like, don't be so conventional about your ideas and things like that. You know, don't. Oh, I can't say that because society has laid this social contract out. You know, there's certain social contracts I believe in. Like, if you have a dog and you are an adult in the situation, you are willing to take care of another living thing, you need to be mature enough to pick its poop up after it. Okay, there's social contracts. Don't steal from other people. I mean, seriously? I mean, what is that? Unless you're like, you know, the top burglar and you like literally break into like museums and stuff. And, you know, I mean, if you're the head of your craft, I get it. I'm talking about petty thieves. Like, what? You know, like, don't. Like, if you take out your trash, don't set it next to the trash can. Put it in the trash can. Nobody wants rats in your neighborhood. I mean, come on, people. You know, social, I'm talking about, like, those social contracts that kind of exist because there's a socioeconomic status applied to people by the people of the highest socioeconomic status. So I'd say just be wary of that. Yeah. All right, Aries, thank you very much. Capricorn Moon, Aries Sun. If you enjoy this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And don't forget, at the end of this video, it's just a short meditation and breathing exercise. Love and light. All right, welcome back to the Capricorn Moon, Taurus Sun reading. So we have here the Hierophant in reverse. This is Catherine of Aragon, the Hierophant. I don't know why I held it there for so long. Something about it. It's that pink that she's wearing. Really nice. In reverse. Okay. So, some knowing is being kept from you. Some understanding is lacking. Like, you're not able to complete your hermit directive because there's a piece of the puzzle that's missing somehow. Or you're not willing to accept the truth of the situation. Like I said, like, these goals that you have for this kind of lifestyle, this projection of what success possibly represents, what a happy relationship represents, what a successful marriage represents. Let me tell you, you know, a successful marriage can have ended. You don't have to stay together and be miserable with each other. That is not success. That is just, that is literally accepting the terms and agreements of the paper contract that you sign with the government registering you as a married couple. If you want to kill each other, you hate each other, and you yell at each other every day, and one is gaslighting the other, or the other one is abusing the other, just because you stay married does not make it successful. A marriage that has gotten that ended, and you've gotten a divorce, and you are amicable with each other, and you don't fight over every little thing, that you still respect and love each other and honor the relationship you had, that is successful. I mean, I'm not the one that, I mean, I shouldn't be telling you the definitions or in some way trying to arbitrate what is successful or not. But I'm like, these are just things that you should clearly understand on your own without society having to tell you. I mean, yes, some families, you know, stay together forever and they work through their problems in the older generations. And you don't have to get a divorce just because, you know, you start fighting more. Go to therapy. You know, try and make it work. I'm not saying don't, like, the first instinct shouldn't be divorce. Like, I'm talking about honest, you know, cannot work, and we're making our children's lives miserable, our lives miserable, and our neighbors' lives miserable because they can hear us fighting all the time. You know, there's a limit. If the neighborhood knows what you guys are arguing about, nah. that's not successful marriage. So you're either not accepting the answer to what you know you need to do, or what the healing and the hermit energy has told you, like what to fight for. Like maybe you're still fighting for the wrong thing, possibly, or something is being kept from you. Like it's very interesting that Spirit showed me the Seven of Swords before, and yet I don't see it anywhere. 6. Nope, it is here. Okay, it's somewhere. It's on someone's. Okay, but we don't see the Tower. So, I mean, everything there is, I believe, I felt Tower energy, absolutely. And it's forcing this kind of like moment, this star and hermit moment. And this could also be, if you did lose someone, you just don't understand why. And that is an absolutely acceptable question to ask. Why? I mean, it's part of the grieving process. So that's just a natural thing. There's nothing disruptive about that. Let's see. Any other messages for that? I mean, in this one also, for those of you out of communication with someone, like there's been a rift between you, and like I said earlier, there's you longing for certain communication. You really want to be able to speak, you know, like these two strong need to learn to communicate again. I feel like that's what you're wishing to have these deep discussions again. You're longing for deep, like thoughtful discussions, and you're just not getting them in your life right now. Very interesting. That's like a solo question. That's for someone in a solo lifestyle, an individual, like even a best friend or something like that. All right, thank you very much, Taurus. This is your sun sign clarification for your Capricorn moon. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Love and light. Oh yeah, don't forget, at the end of this video is a short breathing exercise. Thank you. All right, welcome back, Capricorn Moon, Gemini Sun. We have here your 6 of Swords in reverse. Marsha P. Johnson, I like her. She's wild. Now, what I'm getting here, Gemini, all that thing, that this energy here that says you need to move on, you not moving on. You are not moving on. And you just keep thinking about it, and you keep wanting to have this, you want to have the same argument, like these two people, whether it is a parent with a child, whether it's two adults, whether it's grandparents with a child, you are having the same argument over and over again. You're not letting things go, and you're not accepting your role or your fault. Like, you can spend as much time in hermit mode and star mode as possible, but you're not accepting the healing. You're not accepting the journey, the karmic, requirement in this situation. It's very toxic energy, I would say, and not on its own. Like, this 6 of Swords is not too toxic on its own. It definitely talks about denial and stuff like that. But the way everything is laying out, and the story that these cards told is, and again, like, you don't know what battles, like, this is like telling you, you're fighting the wrong battle. What are you doing? Gemini Sun, Capricorn Moon. And definitely you need to, like, your advice, you really need to unbind yourself. You need to unbind yourself. This could be, again, this karmic lesson, maybe from a past life, which is why it may be so hard for you to let go of. Like, there's some deep-rooted karmic energy tying you and connecting you to this thing. You may actually have to do specific rituals to get rid of it. Go to therapy. You may have to sign up for some therapy sessions. There may be a denial in there about, like, who you are. Like, all this, like, these, I mean, obviously, like, these were about the wishes that you wanted. and how you thought things were going to happen for yourself. And maybe they haven't happened that way, and you're living in a different circumstance than you thought you were, and you're in denial about like the fact that it doesn't meet your standard. And that's always what I say about setting these limitations for yourself. Like, it could lead to disappointment, and it could also lead to stagnation. So you are the problem in your own path. You're the adversary in your own story. Like, you're somehow preventing yourself because you're not accepting the true capability of yourself, your true journey. I'm getting journey on this. Like, you're denying your actual journey and your path in life in some way. And it may be because you were distracted by shiny things and you thought that that's what made you happy. You still may be distracted by something shiny, and it just isn't as fulfilling as you thought it would be. But you're just going to keep at it because, it's what you always wanted. And maybe you got what you always wanted, except you're not happy. And I say, really, if you did lose someone and you're in that denial state of grief, just time will take its course, all right? Just accept your stage in that process, all right? Now, since I did see possible strain between parents and daughters, or not daughters, why did I say daughters? Parents and children, between children, I think you may know that they need help with something, or they're not doing well, but you don't think it's as bad as it is. So it's not a problem yet. That's a little bit of a denial. I would try, again, communication is here through this entire thing. Communication, finding new ways to communicate the way that it used to be, finding an avenue to connect on that will open up dialogue again. It's really important throughout this entire thing, all right? All right, thank you very much, Capricorn Moon, Gemini Sun. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. At the end of this, remember, fast forward to the short breathing exercise. Thank you again. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning. Oh, everything wanted to shift there. For returning my Cancer Suns, Capricorn Moons. You got two cards, both in the upright, the Empress and the Lovers. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous energy. So this King and Queen definitely you're definitely in a happy relationship. I think the question is about whether you guys want to have kids or more kids, or how you want to grow your family, what your family would look like. This could also be a grandparent couple that is focusing on how they want to provide for their children once they're gone, leaving them a legacy of some sort. This is all very positive energy. Obviously, you're not going to directly communicate your will outcomes to your children, but it might be something that you're working on. The contractual stuff I saw earlier in the guided messages may be related to that. It could be that if you're a married couple and you haven't had sex in a while, it's time to start having sex again. It'll cure everything pretty much. It'll cure whatever distance that you've had between each other. Because this does seem like a real divine partnership for you. If you do not want to get pregnant, I would say be careful during this time, because it is highly likely that will happen. Nefertiti we have, and Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr. If you are not actual lovers or a relationship or a couple, I'm getting strong business partners here. And that came in, and you are like, I believe you have had success at something. I think that this kind of been the success that you guys had. I mean, it's not like Elon Musk's success. It's not Jeff Bezos' success, but it is a level of success. And there might be a new venture that you guys are interested in, except it is not in the same business sector that you opened your first endeavor in. This is going to be something different. This is manifesting a new direction. It's not how to make your current business better or to like kind of create subsidiaries of it and branches of it. Like, I think you're taking that and then you're possibly going a different direction. You guys, you might have grown some success that you're now opening a foundation of a sort, because I did see volunteer work on this. This may be something that you're working together, or you are two rich couples that are getting together to form a foundation together and support, I don't know, maybe you give out tuitions for certain kinds of kids, or at a certain type of school for a certain kind of degree, or you are offering visas for people in hardship areas. I'm not sure. This could definitely be partnerships of, two great families. Of course, if you're two great families watching me, thank you. One, help me out, a little support. I'm just kidding. This is just beautiful, positive energy. I mean, one of the only ones that came out in doubles, and it was the Lovers and the Empress. This is great. All right, thank you very much. That was our Capricorn Moon, our Cancer Sun. Good luck with everything. It's beautiful. All right, thank you very much. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, at the end of this video is a short breathing exercise of love and light. All right, our Capricorn Moons, Leo Suns, thank you for returning. Here with you, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So for some of this, it could be this was a true love that didn't end up being a true love. Or you thought it was love and it's not going to be. Or you thought you were pregnant and you're not pregnant. That could be the life that was lost early when I mentioned that somebody could have lost a life. You will get past it. It does take some healing. Also, only specifically with this Audrey Munson card, because in this position, she represents someone who is continually taken advantage of by men in the society for her looks. I feel this is you taking control of your agency back, taking your agency back in a situation. It doesn't have to be because of your looks. It doesn't have to be because you're a woman. I believe in general, it's the energy. This is somebody taking their agency back in a situation. Now, this could be the married couple. One of you had relinquished too much of your identity to the other, and now you're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. We need, you need to be, we need to be more of a partnership. Especially if one of you felt betrayed in this sense. It could be the power of, listen, I'm not fighting these stupid battles. I'm not doing these stupid tasks that you're having me do. I know myself enough. I've healed enough. I am going to do what I'm going to address the situations I want to address and how I want to address them. I'm leaving this idea of who I should be in the past. Like, this is just a lot of you taking, which is very not surprising with the Strength card coming out, you taking a bit of your power back, Leo Suns. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I give up this much of my identity? Was it really all that much worth it? Maybe I was making some money. Maybe I was getting a promotion. Maybe people were paying attention to me. But do I like any of those people? Did that money bring me those vacations that I wanted to take? No, I missed those vacations because I was off doing these things, and did it lead me to a place where I still had to worry about my presentation and appearance to people? Do I want to worry about that kind of stuff? No, not really. I mean, look at that hair. Do you tame this kind of person? You know? Like, no. You accept, and she loves. And you know, she offers up all her strength the moment you accept them. You try and fight them and have that change them, forget about it. You're taking your power back, all right, Leo? And again, this is even if you lost somebody, it is the strength that's going to get you through it. Like knowing that you're still a vital, fertile person, that you know, again, also that you were with someone for a really long time. Maybe they had died, but they're still always with you. That doesn't change who you are. You're just simply without them in the physical realm, you know? All right, thank you very much, Capricorn Moon, Leo Sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget the breathing exercise at the end of this video. Thanks again, love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, our Capricorn Moons, Virgo Suns. One of the people that got 2 cards, and interestingly enough, the Seven of Swords, which Spirit showed me before the reading started. You got the Seven of Swords. This card has come out almost every reading too. This is the first time the Tower has not come out at all, although I'm getting big Tower vibes from the entire thing. Illegitimate child of the Pope, and then the Ace of Swords, Bessie Coleman. She decided she wanted to be a pilot. She bought her first plane. I mean, obviously she got a pilot's license, bought her first plane. You know, I mean, she was committed to this dream. And so you have the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Now, a lot of sword energy. I mean, we had the King and Queen, so there's the divine connection there. The Three of Swords as a bit of the painful past. Okay, this may be for a real limited number of you, but you specifically, I mean, obviously this is designated down also by sun sign. Someone is going to present to you a new opportunity or a new idea. And it is most likely a packable. It's not rooted in well intentions. The Borgia family ruled in Italy through coercion, intimidation, bribery. What is that when someone is like extortion? So I said earlier, be wary of scams during this time. I think this specifically directly relates to you, Virgo. And you may think it's all on the up and up because you're so rooted, and you think, you know, you're all about security and structure, and you think that this idea or this presentation offers such, you know, real rooted benefit and reward. Like someone may be selling apartments in an apartment complex, except they're not actually the realtor or the developer. Like there's something here. It's not grounded in well intentions and solid. Like even this paper is ripped. Like it doesn't. It's not fixed. You know. I want to say solid. It's not rooted in a reality and in a materiality. It's from the same piece of paper, but they've pulled it out and separated it because it's not real anymore. It's a fictitious concept. Now, if you're retirement, somebody may be trying to sell you a insurance scam or a timeshare. They may be trying to sell you a retirement plan or a new home. And check to see, especially because I know people move to Arizona and Florida. Check to see if that home is built on a floodplain, because a lot of Florida is going under, as well as a lot of insurers are pulling out of Florida. I mean, the normal insurers already did pull out, so they had secondary insurers. And now these secondary insurers are possibly pulling out so you can't even get mortgages. So possibly look up the future situation of what it is that you're looking at. Arizona, I mean, in that case, it's just, it's more or less like, just make sure that the developer is the developer. Like that somebody's just not selling you, you know, somebody else's tinfoil. For, let's see. If you're parents of a child who just said that they got a new job doing something and it's great and it makes them a lot of money, or they just wrote this book about something, or they have this great idea, one, don't lend them money for it. Two, it probably, it's a lie. Whatever, they're telling you a lie. Let's see. So, let's see. There's something, business partners. Oh, if somebody is saying you didn't pay your taxes, if you're a company and you get a random email from what may be a tax company saying, listen, you didn't pay this tax in a foreign country to export, blah, 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 blah. That's probably a scam. Double check with the company and whether you even have any ties to that company or whether they have ties to the actual government of the country in which they say it's to. All right. Yeah, somebody might be trying to sell you something that's just not. I would say I'd be wary of contracts. Anyone that is signing a contract for any kind of particular reason at this time, look it over carefully. And it'd be a new contract. It's not something that you've already signed. It's not something that's a renewal. You know, I mean, it's something new. It's a new contract for a new thing. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support. If you did enjoy this, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to fast forward to the end where there's a short breathing meditation. Thank you very much again, my Capricorn Moons, Virgo Suns. Love and light. All right. Thank you for returning to me. My Capricorn Moons are Libra Suns. So we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So what I'm getting out of this is that, I feel like it has to do with definitely kind of like feeling like a hurt situation that may have happened between, friends. And that taking a step back was the right thing to do. Like, or this is your computer. Okay, so something has got you taking a step back from something. Has you readdressing the old goals and the new goals. And again, this is the new moon, so it's a great time for new manifesting. This is a great time to do this healing and this reflection. And the thing is your friends and your family and your social they will be there when you're ready for them to be there. Again, you don't have to, this is that thing I said earlier about this is a time and it's okay to pull back from friends because you have a very strong community around you, Libra. And it's fine to keep a distance from them. And it's not just you keeping a distance from them. Maybe they're keeping a distance from you, but it doesn't mean they're any less part of your life. Like, don't get upset or worrisome about those situations. Continue to do the karmic work that you need to do at this time to help resolve the situation so you can move on to that next stage in your life. Don't get bogged down by worrying about, oh, I haven't talked to my sister in so long, or I haven't talked to my son or daughter in so long, or my brother, or my aunt, or my uncle, or my mom, or my dad, or my grandma, or my grandpa, or my best friends, or, you know, or childhood friends, or, you know, just your surroundings and your community, your party will be there when you get out of what you need to work through, you know, and it'll be a great, like, also see the relationships in a brighter light, like because you've moved through this phase, and you're building your own, you decided now you're gonna build your own ladder, because you're leaving that behind, and you're gonna accept what you decide as freedoms instead of what other people decide them for you. And you're cutting ties with those limiting beliefs of the past, and those kind of fantasies and nostalgias, and you're gonna fight the fight that you want to fight. I mean, this is all leading to this reimagining of how to prove yourself above the others. So I think you're even going to bring a new energy to this community. It's beautiful, actually. I'm getting a real positive energy out of that. It's going to be, you might even help them be less toxic. I think it's going to be less toxic relationships. Then you're going to help them be less toxic. All right. Thank you very much, our Capricorn Moon, Libra Sun. I think that was a simple, pure, clean clarity message. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me. Our Capricorn Moons, our Scorpio Suns. All right, you've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So definitely some of this reassessment can be done, could have been because of disappointments. And disappointment in your material world. Disappointment again in how things turned out for you, materially speaking. Like the house you're in, the clothes you wear, the job you have, the fact that maybe you own a car and you don't want to. Like, honestly, I don't know why people want to own a car so they can sit in traffic for 2 hours a day. I can't understand that. But, some people want it as a status symbol. I mean, is that what you want? And I think there's some reflection going on here about materially where you are. You also may not think that you have enough. You may have 2 cars and you want a third. You may have, a 2-story house and you want a 3rd story. Or you want a 2-story house with a housekeeper's house, on the property. You may not want just an outdoor pool. You may want an indoor pool, and that's just not satisfying to you. Whatever it is, there's definitely some unhappiness in your material world, some unfulfillment. Now, maybe it is because if you're in the relationship, maybe one of you is staying home and you don't want to do that anymore. So you're trying to think of, how am I going to jumpstart my career? What can I do if I go back to work? Can I just have something of my own? Maybe I mentioned retirement earlier. Maybe your retirement and you don't have as much as you thought you had, which is like, oh gosh, do I have to go back to work? No, please don't make it go back to work. How free are you attached to this money? Like if you're, leaving behind these restrictions and you're seeking freedom, what is the role of freedom with your material world? It's I feel like, it's very similar to this energy, just your social status, like where is it leading you? Is it fulfilling you? And obviously the advice in this, in all these, is to unbind yourself. Unbind yourself. This is the new moon. Create. All right. That is the clarifying message for our Capricorn Moons, Scorpio Suns. Thank you very much. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And don't forget that at the end of this video, there is a short breathing exercise. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning, Capricorn Moon and our Sagittarius Sun. You have Octavia Butler. Hey! And I mean, she definitely has a new movie coming out, or her book has been turned into a movie. I hear it all the time on the daily podcast. So your Three of Pentacles. So teamwork. This is for you that you used to think of your part, like your literal partnership, your King and Queens of Swords, as you were a team. Your divine partnership, you were in it together. You were each other's ride or die, I don't see passion in here as far as ride or die, but you're just each other's team. You were always supportive because you had there was something in there, this link that connected your goals. And, there's some of it that might be, like I was saying before, like there may be a lack of communication going on right now. There may feel like a distance between the two of you. And this is requiring you to kind of like go in, reassess, and decide what battles you want to fight. And I feel like you want that teamwork back, is what you do. You want to find that stability again. So you feel that, if you're a couple and you have kids, that every time you go into a situation where you have to address your child's behavior or expectations of the child, that you guys have on the child, that you're on the same page. Because I feel like there's a lot of situations where you're not on the same page anymore, where before you were always on the same page. And since this has to do with social stature or social status, it is the fact that, people would look at you and say, oh my God, you're the ideal parents, your kids are the ideal kids. And right now at home, you're seeing that there's like a space where you're not that anymore, and you want to get back to that. For the people who are business partners, I see that whatever you're working on right now is going to be successful. You might even be bringing in another partner into the fold. Someone who is possibly an Aquarius, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. That's over there. There's also you may be turning an idea into an actual visual production of some sort. Let's see. You may be building a house. Something might be built. You're obviously building a new ladder. Let's see. Any other messages? Sagittarius. The only last message is you're letting go, like some of the things that we're letting go, like we said, nostalgia, this devil kind of energy, this Three of Wands going nowhere. You're letting go of having to do things on your own. You're seeing the value in partnership and in support. You're seeing the value in it, not just in a physical plane of material gain, but your own personal growth and development. You're seeing value for that. It creates a lot more satisfaction. Where you thought that it would create more tension, it's actually, you're seeing a lot more value in it nowadays. And that is probably because you've gone through the work to heal those, like I said, the forgotten ones, those triggering moments, those issues that lead you to isolation, that prevent you from participating in a what is the word that I'm looking for? A curiosity, in a curious aspect, that kind of childlike curiosity. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I see that's really great. Like I see a lot of success here for you, just a lot of grounding, a lot of stability coming out of this with real practical intentions and practical motivations. So this new moon is going to be great for manifesting material things for you. Sagittarius, Sun, Capricorn, full moon. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget, there is a short breathing exercise at the end of this. Love and light. All right, welcome back, my Capricorn moons and my Capricorn sun. I was like, what? You have the Knight of Swords, Wallace Simpson, in reverse. So Wallace Simpson, speaking of the royal family, there was the Meghan and Harry on Netflix, and I know that the Queen or something like that, like, is an ongoing series is placed. Wallace Simpson was an American. She's the only, another American that married into the royal family. One of the princes who had to abdicate from the family because both these two were on the side of the Nazis during World War II, and the institution couldn't have it. So it was in reverse, sorry. Separate story. I don't know if you're a history buff and that means something to you. So, and the Knight of Swords could definitely be a spy card. Like, I'm a spy, because it can symbolize somebody stalking you, somebody checking up on your social media, somebody reading your letters, somebody gaslighting you. In the reverse, okay, so this energy that is, I definitely got like this, like this star healing card, this hermit card. Like, you're realizing all this kind of gaslighting and this manipulation that was going on in a certain situation, because there seems to be, like, what the communication relationship is either being meddled with by someone on the outside. Like before I said, a parent could think that someone is bad for their child. It could be a parent that had been meddling in an actual really solid relationship, and they had been trying to, like, they possibly had said things to you about the other person that made you question your own choices, that made you question your love, that made you question, I don't want to say sanity, but your reality and your beliefs. And that is being brought to light. Like, you're realizing that individual was wrong, that their opinion of mine was lacking in clarity. Think of clarity, you know, because I mean, this one is like, obviously someone's a spy, they're following up on things, but in reverse, it's a little bit more of the you know, faking it until they make it, like they're pretending to know all these things, so they're just spreading possible deceptions. It's also miscommunication. It could have come through maybe the parent misinterpreted something one of them said about you in a conversation, or literally they may have misheard it and they just filled in a blank word. It also could have been that one of you told a story to your parent and they blew it out of proportion. Now, if it's about this Capricorn energy of gaining your freedom over something, gaining your power back over a situation, for me, it's having a clear, distinct voice and knowing what it is that you want to say, not being mean. Or the advice is, don't be mean. Don't lash out. Like, whatever you want your freedom in and you gain, you know, the star work and the hermit work can be about you addressing that karmic goal at this time, that, you know, you don't have to lash out. Be more respectful. Don't throw tantrums, you know. This could definitely be a tantrum card, in my opinion, right now, is what I'm seeing. All right, yeah, don't get, what is it, a spoiled brat kid energy. This is kind of spoiledness you need to get over, all right? Something that you're working on so you can, you know, build that new way. Yeah, you definitely like it, fighting your battles. Don't throw tantrums. Those aren't battles to fight. You're not your best. You're not your best when you're throwing tantrums or getting angry or getting snotty about unnecessary things. Like, nobody wants to listen to a person complain all the time. You know? Ugh. I work with someone like that. All right. Now, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end. Thank you very much. Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Sun. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, my Capricorn Moons and Aquarius Sun. You also are one of the few people that still got 2 cards, even out of the deck. So you have Joan of Arc as the Fool and Florence Nightingale as the 2 of Pentacles. Now, again, this is the new moon, so it is a great time to manifest. Now, what I'm getting in this additional clarification message for you is that you've taken this Hermit energy and this Star energy, and you are working through something so you know how to address the situations that need to be addressed with the proper amount of energy. And what I'm seeing is that there is a new start for you. You are just going to have to make one more slight deviation to figure out which one you feel best aligns with your path right now. Like, do you want to linger on the past manifestation goals? You know, like, do you still want your new goal to be linked in some way to the same outcomes and goals of your past goals? Or do you want a fresh new start, completely devoid of even the concept of, you know, the magician? You know, do you want to find a different way to address how you accomplish your goals? Instead of just wishing for something or using like specific tools that you have or skills that you have, maybe there's a new way to address your goals. Like maybe focusing on one of the tools that you have, and instead of, you know, trying to create a lifestyle filled with ornaments of representation that, you know, will mean success or in some way, maybe it's actually feeling the success of it instead of feeling like, maybe it's not just about collecting things, maybe it's about giving things. You know, I mean, whatever it is, I'm not sure what it is to you individually. I don't want to actually say too much more about it because I feel if I encroach too much on the process, it will sway you in some way. I can simply say whether you want to start something from a root place of where you were or completely void of that in a new place where you are all about some kind of sense of freedom. So I'll say that whether that's in a relationship, whether that is in a business deal, whether that is an individual out on your own. Like I said, some of you might have lost someone. Some of you might have lost a child. Like wherever it is, this story that was taking you on that I talked about, how you want to start your new path. You have a choice. And that will affect your karmic destiny. It will affect your karmic connection, your ties, your lessons, whether you continue to repeat the same cycles or you let them go. All right? That's all I can say about that. Thank you very much, Capricorn Moon, Aquarius Sun. This looks amazing. I'm really excited for whatever it is that you decide to do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Love and light. Oh, don't forget to check out the breathing exercise at the end of this video. Thank you again. All right, thank you very much, Capricorn Moon and our Pisces Sun. You have the Temperance in reverse. Okay, this is interesting. Temperance is coming out only in reverse, really. I mean, once, I think I had it upright once. So the clarification for this, this story for you, and what's your, your Hermit energy, what's directing you going forward. you know, is definitely, I mean, you put in the work, you want to do the healing so you can direct yourself towards a stronger individual, you know, a stronger purpose, a stronger directive, a stronger you, a more disciplined and targeted. And you're feeling like nothing that you have, or none of the inherent like power and traits, and you know when they say some people are just born with it, you don't feel like you have that special niche. So you feel limited by that. It's very interesting. Like that seems to trigger you, that idea that everyone's always like, oh well, she's born with it, you know, or when I was born with it, you know, it's just one of those things that I can do. It's just one of those, you know, some people do languages, some people do sports, some people do music, you know, some people can be actors and they never have to go to acting class, you know, they just are born with it. And that really bothers you. Like this relationship that you're working on, some people are like, oh, we just come together so naturally. Where you two had to work at it. You created this team effort. And you feel right now you're just not connected to what it was that was making things work. And I mean, obviously the advice in that situation is you have to unbind yourself from all those stereotypes and all those limiting beliefs of even believing in the fact that you were born with it, because or that makes you less than or more than whatever skill it is you were born with. Because I mean, your Temperance card, you're capable. It's just you're in denial about it, or you're limiting your own self. So whatever way you're limiting yourself from achieving these end goals, like maybe you don't believe that if you do the healing it'll work, or maybe you don't believe that you can actually meditate and learn because you're just not that type of person. Other people can do it, but I can't do it. And that's what I'm feeling here a lot. Like, oh, other people can be free, but I have too many societal pressures on me. You're a mother of 4 or father of 4, and you've got bills and all these things, so you just can't do it. You know, you're too Capricorn in that moon. You're like, that's just not how things are supposed to be done. Well, you know, there's something you need to let go of. You know, you're in denial. You're limiting yourself. You are literally all the moss and the leaves and everything on the top of that clear, beautiful lake that I was seeing in my dream. You are your own restriction right now. The imbalance of it. Very imbalanced. And it's creating a lot of negative texture. I feel like all that fire stuff that was happening earlier and all that shooting out energy was you. I'm getting a real kind of like neck pinching, like shoulder shrugging kind of energy right now. All right. So you need to unbind yourself from this. It's very limiting, or else you will karmically have to continue to repeat these lessons over and over again by, you know, making excuses for things is not how, and I know, I understand. Well, that's a very, you could be saying, what is it? That's very entitled of you to say. I'm like, you know, to that I have to say, in some instances it might be entitled, but there are ways you can work around your situation to do better for yourself. Because what I'm seeing here is somebody who in some way who is in pain and needs help, and they're not doing it. And then you're creating excuses for yourself about that. It's like, you know, the work you have to do. I'm literally seeing you as a person not doing that work because you like pounding sticks upside down. Like, honestly, what is, I don't know. It's not good. I don't see this. And maybe it's because you don't feel supported by your partner. And what I say to that, again, speak to them. Speak to them. Open up that honest communication about it. But know what you want to say. Don't be mean about it. Don't be rude about it. Don't be flippant about it. Like, there's always ways you can try. And like, if you're a single parent and you want help from your kids, ask your kids. You know, don't And that's the thing, like they can do some of the things that for themselves. Don't have them do your things for you. Have them do their things for themselves. If they have after school activities, oh, and the light just went out. If they have after school activities that they have to get to, teach them how to take the bus. Get them a bicycle. You know, have them work to get a bicycle. Like, you know, bicycling is great. It's therapeutic and it's healthy. There's just, I feel that there's ways that you can overcome this, Pisces. All right. Thank you very much, Capricorn Moon, Pisces Sun. I appreciate all the support. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. Even if the messages aren't always good, which they may not always be. There is a short breathing exercise right after this. Love and light. Now take a deep breath. In deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focus in on the sounds.